Set out on a road trip from Taipei, commencing with Zhunan. Stopped by the beach where the wind turbines were pretty hard at work. Pretty industrial out there, and there's the usual haphazard approach to urban design that you see in Taiwan. Didn't spend long there and soon headed inland, stopping by the Meilun Waterfall for a swim. Pretty sticky weather, and from there I headed off to camp. Stayed in this campground last night, and my tent is still set up there just next to that black car. I actually arrived before that car and I'm in this big field, and for some reason they came along at 10 o'clock and set up right next to me, which was actually okay. I just thought it was kind of odd. Today I'm going to head south from here. No very clear plan. I might end up in Buckley in Nenggao County, but yeah, basically heading south. Pretty nice view today from the camp spot. Just brewing up some coffee and gonna have some noodles for breakfast. I just stopped by the Liyutan reservoir, and actually there are other people stopping by for a look too, I noticed. Apparently at 4.5% officially. My eyeball evaluation is closer to 0. Definitely been dry here in central Taiwan for the last year or so. A lot of the reservoirs are 5% or lower, which is pretty wild. I think the backup is just bringing water from the northern, basically Taipei's reservoir, which is more like 70 or 80%. So I was looking at the dam levels across the country, and it looks that the reservoir in Taipei is actually currently holding more water than the rest of the reservoirs in all of Western Taiwan put together. I think I've spotted where the 4.5% is. My guess is that's it there. It's looking pretty grim. It was stinking hot down in Buckley, so I decided to ascend into the mountains, generally in the direction of Renai and Qingshui Farm. But I took a side road that leads off from there. I'm now on a trail I just saw on the map. Turns out to be quite a popular one. I can't remember the name. Maybe I'll subtitle it. But yeah, didn't know it existed, but it's very, very popular. Car park probably had 100 cars in it. There's tons of shuttles that I passed as well, driving up here. Pretty nice views. So I'm just going to use it as a day walk. Probably go an hour and then return. There's a parallel trail on the ridgeline above me, which I think I'll camp tonight. It seems like suspension bridges are the turn back point for me lately. So about 3 kilometers into the trail here, and just on a bridge, which yeah is my turn back point for today. So I just returned to the car after doing that trail, and just driving around looking for a place to camp. So I've headed just up the road, probably about 1 kilometer from the trailhead, and there's a few farms and things around here. So I haven't found a spot to camp yet. It's just super steep, pretty wild kind of area to be setting up a farm. Last night I ended up camping in the bush somewhere above me, and so I'm back at the same spot I was. A lot of the haze from yesterday afternoon is not an issue now, so the same views are pretty spectacular. The buildings over there are Qingshui Farm, and along the ridge is the main route that leads up towards Hezhong, and that's the route that I want to get onto. So I'm gonna follow this one across, and I've basically got to drive down into the valley and then up another one on the other side. So it's all going to be smallish, steep roads, I think. We'll soon find out. Sprinklers running this morning. Doesn't seem like there's a drought on this little patch of, I guess, tea. Just descending into that valley now, and yeah, the road really is quite steep. It's a little rougher than I expected. It's definitely fine to drive, but I feel with the steepness of the hills and the villages and farms here, it feels like I'm in, you know, Nepal or something like that. Pretty cool little drive. Looks like a tea harvest is in process down there. So I had a swim down in the river, down the bottom there. Wake me up and made a coffee. Gets pretty steep. Goodness me. Ah. Fingers crossed. So I've just parked up on the shade to give the car a little bit of a rest. That last section of road I just filmed was, I think, the steepest section of road I've ever driven. So I was in drive and the car, at a very steep little point there, it just seemed to lose power altogether. It was just like I couldn't make it up there. I was like, is it gone into the lowest gear? Because, yeah, I was in drive. So I stopped and I reversed back down and I put the car into low. But yeah, I mean, it was in the lowest gear anyway. So it was a real struggle to get up there, even in low. I had to like push the accelerator more than is normal. And yeah, just sort of struggled over. It was pretty wild. So after getting up over that sort of lip, I turned off the air conditioning. It didn't occur to me to do that before. So I'm just at the dark Sky Carpark, which is a viewpoint on the way up to Huanshan. Basically just taking every stop I can, because last time I drove up this road I set the radiator to a boil in the car, so I just want to take it easy. Yeah, nice view. Very clear sky today. Definitely much clearer than yesterday when there was a bit of haze in the sky. It's pretty great. So I just got to Kunyang Carpark. I'm just going to go for a short walk from here along the ridge. It's quite busy up there, so this will just give me a little space before continuing on my way toward Hualien. Just on a river trace near Hualien. Yeah, it's pretty disturbing, the rubbish that people leave behind. So I picked up some chip packets and stuff left by like a tour group, for goodness sake. Someone was fishing here before. He's left his bag of bait here for the flies. It's a real common problem here, just trash left in these wilderness areas. Just scrambled up a rock here, pretty big one, and just looking down at the ocean below me. There's sort of a trail, if you want to call it that continues along. You can see the rope swinging along the side there. So I'd say it's pretty dicey. Might maybe try at a higher tide when there aren't any waves. You could say you're lucky if you land when there's a wave coming in, because then you've got something water to land on instead of rocks. You kind of want to time it so the waves come in, smashed against the rocks already, and is on its way out, and then somehow you got to swim your way out there and around to where the beach is.